The main reason why a lot of people are unhappy or unsatisfied in their lives is because they don't have a clear direction to which they're going. They don't know what they want. And you're going to hear this a lot from me specifically, because it is important, it is imperative. If you want a happy life, if you want a peaceful life, you have to know where you are going. You have to know exactly what it is that you want. So a lot of people start businesses for money, which is fine. They start businesses for passive income, which is fine. And if you want that, that's great, but you're gonna get it, and then you're gonna be left with what, you know? So think about what you want that can be motivated by something intrinsic to you. Meaning what? Meaning that it's inherent to your reason for being. It's inherent for your reason for life. Like it's important to you, you know. It motivates you to get up in the morning and to not just do things that push you towards passive income creation, but push you towards things of purpose. Right? So what is your purpose? What is your purpose for being? What is your purpose for business? What is your purpose for talking to people? So once you can find out what you want and what it is that you're here to do on this planet, then you have the ability to make a plan and to go long term. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting so distracted because you have no idea. There are people walking. There's a cat over here that, like, everyone's just, like, looking at me because, like, I'm talking to, like, an electronic device. Like, anyway. But the reason why you should know what you want is so that you can develop a plan to get there. So I'll give you a personal example because I can. I did not know what I wanted for a long time. I was just aimlessly making friends with anybody. I was aimlessly attending any event. I was aimlessly just like spreading my energy quite thin. And then as soon as I started to get involved more so within myself and within my mind and explore my mind and explore my own genius capability and my own creativity, and I got very much into spirituality and like living life inwardly, right? First. Then I realized that, you know, I knew what I wanted. And what I wanted was to educate people on everything that I had learned about getting on top of your own mind. I wanted to educate people about living from the heart. I wanted to educate people about actually enjoying their lives and being happy, because I had found happiness and peace. And where had I found happiness and peace? It wasn't outside of myself. It wasn't through extrinsic means. It wasn't through money, because I had everything. We can have everything, you know? And it's not going to give you joy. It's not going to give you peace. It's not going to give you like actual childlike excitement for life. So what does? Purpose. You know, what lights you up, right? So for me specifically, again, it was I wanted to teach people and tell people what I had learned about healing oneself from heartbreak, from pain, from loss of identity, from lack of identity, from not knowing oneself, right? And I found when I went within that somebody exists within ourselves, right? And this life force energy is called God. And God is present within every single animate and inanimate object. And so this is not about religion. This is not about, you know, any dogma. This has to do with energy. This has to do with the energy that is life, you know, nature itself, that is everything in existence. So I found many multiple universal truths and I wanted to share it with the world. So I started this YouTube channel. I wrote a book. You know, I kept writing on my blog and you know, I started creating content. I got very much into content creation, and then I got very much into business, and then I said, oh wait, hey, there's a need here for people, because everybody wants passive income and everybody actually needs passive income, including people that are in third world countries that don't have the means to access an American education. Instead, what they can learn is the fundamentals of truth, of spirituality, of clean living and clean eating, and of clean knowledge, which includes business that is done in the right way, and that includes marketing, that includes content creation, and that includes social media, utilizing the World Wide Web, right, to put out information and experience and creativity in their own ways in order to receive back. This is something everybody can do. All you need is a device and Wi-Fi. That's all you need. You just need a phone and Wi-Fi. You don't need, and the right education and information, which is where I come in, you know what I mean? So I went on to create multiple digital products, all original. Like, I have never used anyone else's frameworks. I've never copied anyone else. I've never looked outside of myself for inspiration. All of my digital products are original and made by me and me alone. And they combine spirituality and business together. And they're what people all over the world need to consume in order to set themselves up for personal and financial success when it comes to getting their own mission out into the world and getting their own purpose out into the world and starting their own business. I have put in the frameworks needed for people to develop their own digital businesses, and they're all within my products. Okay, so of course I had to price them fairly. They're all listed on my store, which you can find in the link below. And essentially, I was always motivated by purpose after this. Like, once I found out what I wanted to do with my life and where I wanted to go, I never stopped. I wanted to, learn how to do everything that I've learned how to do, which includes even like things of artistic nature, because I'm very artistic, right? Because I believe that the world is motivated also by love. And it's a very important component. Like, a lot of people don't have this quality within them of sensitivity and love and receptivity and actual humanitarian care for the world, right? And I do. So in any way that I can infuse that energy into what I create, I try to do so. So that is what I have done with my digital products, with my videos on this channel. I have a few other channels as well. And so that's my mission and that's my purpose, right? And eventually I want to travel and speak and give back to people in the ways that I can, because we have one life, guys. We have one life, and I want to make mine as expansive as I can, because I really do care about giving people the right information to set them up for personal success. Not in the future, but right here and right now. Like, I want people to not be heartbroken. I want people to understand who they are on a soul level. I want people to have an identity that they have crafted on their own instead of listening to outside conditioning. I want people to find and understand God. I want people to be connected with their hearts and living from their hearts and living from love. I want people to feel that they can accomplish things and have hope for themselves, to be able to do anything that they want to do. I want people to understand what confidence is. Confidence is not outside of yourself. It's not external. It's rooted in passion. It's rooted in purpose. And it's rooted in understanding the God that lives within, right? So this is what I want for people. And this started with me not having anything. Like, I was so down bad, depressed. I was so sensitive and like so misunderstood, by the world and by people. I like couldn't deeply connect with like friends or anyone else around me, because I felt that they could not love from my level. Like, they could not understand my love, or they could not like feel what I felt, which has always been like loyalty and like friendship and so I have been like very heartbroken in my life. And so I've also healed myself from that heartbreak, and it was only through God that I was able to. And so that's what I'm here to give the world, that juice of how I did it, how I was able to literally go from extremely depressed, like literally to the point of like not wanting to be here anymore, because I was just so hurt, and I went from that point to eventually becoming somebody whole, happy, healed, with a business, flourishing, very healthy, both in my mind and body and spirit and pocket, So that's what I'm here to give people. It was like a complete transformation. That's why I have on my Instagram my name as Transformation Coach, because literally that's what I went through. And it's right here. Can you see? Follow me on Instagram. Yeah, I realized really early on in my life that like people are not innocent. And people, even the adults around you, even if you are a child, will have like selfish motives or ulterior motives. And I had to grow up really early. I had to grow up very young. So I was an adult when I was like 3 years old, trying to regulate the moods and emotions of adults around me, And so I had to learn really early on you know, how to move through the world, you know, in a way that could protect myself. So I had been protecting myself emotionally until a certain age. It was around like 18 actually, when I realized like, hey, I have no identity because I have just been guarding myself my entire life in order to please other people, you know, and to be safe, you know. And so that's when my healing journey kind of cataclysed, and that's when it was like the worst part of my life that I had ever experienced. Like it was like a really, really negative part of my life, and it was truly rock bottom, you know. And I have journal pages filled with like just me writing like all kinds of things about like questions to God, for God, what is the point of life? Why am I here? You know, and then a few pages later, like if you actually like read through the journal, I have answers. Like I have like downloads, like blocks of downloads of information. Because I discovered meditation. So I would like sit in meditation and I would pray, you know, and then I would receive information. And so I didn't know it at the time, but eventually later on I discovered that that's what claircognizance is. And so everybody has this. Everybody has claircognizance. And I want people to know that. I want people to know that everybody has these gifts that are actually not gifts. They're just part of who we are. It's just that we've been cut off from who we are for so long by societal conditioning, for the purpose of entrapping us and enslaving us into depression, into addictive cycles, into karmic loops and karmic cycles, right? Because who does it benefit to keep us stuck? Everybody. Who do you benefit when you're free? Nobody. Nobody. Literally. So this is something to understand, right? When you understand how the game works, you play the game, so you win. You don't play to lose, right? So that's what I help teach you guys inside of my mastery courses, inside of my groups, inside of my monthly coaching groups, in my one-on-one calls, right? And so this is like my purpose for existence. Like this is why I'm here, to help lead people home within themselves. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will be submitting this to TED Talks. Guys, I want to get on TED Talks. How do I do that? I'm going to submit this baby to TED Talks and see what goes on. You know what I mean? Part of my story that I've never shared ever with anybody is like the thing with that I can't even like talk about it. Is the thing that happened with my jaw. So basically, every physical issue that we experience is a spiritual issue. First, it starts in our spirit, in our energy. So because I couldn't voice my truth of how I was feeling to literally anybody for so long, right, it manifested as like a jaw issue, which resulted in something called malocclusion, which is where your bite is not like sitting together properly. So that was something that was a very long, drawn out, painful, horrific like experience for me. And I can talk about it because like I learned so much from it about what I needed to change within myself and who I needed to actually become in order to align my life with the shifts that had happened within me. Because when there is a discrepancy between who we have grown into and the actions that we take, shit goes wrong. Essentially, things go wrong because you are not living your truth, you know. So that's what I had experienced. I had experienced something going wrong, which was my jaw situation. So I would encourage everybody to live from their hearts as much as possible and to always use your voice, always speak up, always talk, never be afraid of communication. We live in a world where communication is so frivolous that sometimes it's just easier to not say anything at all because we're afraid of deep conversation, right? Or truthful discourse, which makes no sense, but we do it because we are in a society where that's common, right? So it's fearful to actually like talk about how you feel. But don't make the mistake that I did. I would encourage, like from what I have went through, I have learned that it is important to vocalize how you are feeling, and not in a way that is at all untruthful, but in a way that is direct, and in a way that is, you know, like, our life is so short, guys. It's not that long. You should not hold your tongue, you know. And I mean this in the sense of, you know, like, let's say you're not feeling well about something. First solve it within yourself, right? And don't make it anyone else's problem. Like, embrace strength, really embrace strength. Like, solve your problems within yourself and see why they're there. See what insecurities have been brought up within you and why they're there. And then communicate effectively with people in a way that has a purpose. If you want a partnership, for example, like, express that. Or if you want you know, whatever it is that you want, you know. And that's something that I'm also learning to do. For example, I want a partnership, and I'll just say it in this video. I want a partnership. I want a business partnership with somebody, or with a project that I can align with, you know. Like, that is what I'm looking for in this moment, because I have discovered the importance of collaboration and teamwork. And if you want to go far, you go together, right? So I'm interested in going far. I'm interested in longevity. I'm interested in lasting projects that actually scale to great amounts, right? Not just numerically, not just in terms of, not just financially, but like in terms of the output that they give to the world. You know, like, I'm thinking long term, to the point of, like, even after I die, like, I want my work to live on this planet and benefit people, right? So that's what I'm, like, always thinking about. That's what's on my mind, like. So yeah. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my story and my reason for being here, and, like, why I do what I do. And I also wanted to remind myself why I do what I do, because it's so easy to get lost in the sauce. It's so easy to hop on Instagram and be like, oh, haha, like, I'm not doing anything, like, like, at all, which is good. Like, it's good to have that fire under your ass, but at the same time, it's like, I need to stay focused, and the way that I can stay focused is by shutting my eyes to the outside world and not listening to anybody except myself and my mentors and people that I read about, and you know, like, people that have actually done similar things to what I want to do, which is kind of hard for me to find. But I take great inspiration from people who have done noble works, you know? Because truly, like, this is your greatest asset. Like, your mind is your greatest asset. And you're talking to a girl, or rather, a girl is talking to you, who is very much in love with, like, fashion, movement, music, dance, like, theater. Like, I love that so much, right? And still, I will argue till I'm gone that your mind is your biggest asset, because your mind precedes any physical experience. Like, your mind actually creates your body. Your mind creates the experiences within and around your body. Your mind creates your health, you know, and your wealth, and your imagination, your creativity. The places that you go physically first happen within your mind, within your psyche, within your consciousness. So I want to relay that to you, and I want you to nurture your mind, protect it. Like, don't let your mind fall into traps of negative thinking. And we all struggle with this, but it's habit-based. It's habit-based. So once you know that, you can go, all right, bet, like, I can just hack the habit. You know what I mean? It's easy to hack the habit, because a habit is formed by repetition. So you just hack the repetition, you know? But I don't want you guys to fall into traps of negative thinking. Like, I want you to be extremely excited about life, and I want you to move with purpose. I want you to know what you want. I want you to have direction for where you're going, and I want you to have a step-by-step process for how you're going to get there. I want your movements to be aligned with who you are as a person, and I want you to live honestly in that way. That's what I mean when I say protect your mind, you know? That's how to protect your mind. And how do you protect your heart? You give it to God. You do not give it to people. You don't give it to people. It doesn't matter if you are even in a relationship or you're getting married or whatever it is. You put your heart in God. You fall in love with God, okay? Because human beings are flawed. They're flawed. And also, like, we are all God's children. Like, we are all his children. So, like, we're all learning. Like, we're all here on this planet to learn, right? So it's imperative that, like, you know, it's easy, maybe not for you, but like for me, like, it's easy for me to fall in love with people. Like, I love people so much, like, I really do. So you know, my lesson has been to look to God first, and to put my heart into God first, and to invest my attention first into God, such that when I look upon somebody or when I look at somebody, I'm seeing God. Like, I'm seeing God's messenger, God's representative, God's servant, God's child, God's friend, you know, because people really are. That's why it says in the Bible that all of your sins are forgiven, because it's hard to explain this, but they are forgiven, because we're always sinning. Like, you understand that negative thoughts that go against our life force energy are sins as well, because we're giving into the race mind or the race consciousness. That's who the devil is, by the way. If you didn't know, the devil is a vibration, you know, and that vibration is in direct opposition to God and God's nature, which is loving, creative, reciprocal, always, inventive, excited, humorous, nurturing, childlike, passionate, loving, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I could just go on, like, we're gonna be here all week, babe. Like, but I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, comment on it, give it some love, show me some love, you know what I mean? Because we got one life and we're all in this together. We have to be. That's the only way to do it. Literally being alone and sitting in your fears and winning in an egotistical sense of the term is not fun. It's not fun. It's outdated, and it's just, it doesn't get anybody anywhere, you know. And take it from me, I learned that as well. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Peace.